At 8:47 p.m. on a chaotic Friday night, Thomas was just a waiter struggling to keep up with a double section. By Monday morning, he was sitting in the headquarters of a billion-dollar firm, starting a career most people only dream of. This isn't a story of lucky breaks. It's the blueprint for how you can transform your life when opportunity finally knocks. In a world of dreamers and strivers, we often find ourselves waiting for the right person, the right moment, or the right connection. Most of us feel like we're stuck in temporary jobs, just tolerating life until the real thing begins. But what if the reason you haven't succeeded yet isn't because you're unlucky, but because you're holding an umbrella when it's about to rain? Understanding Thomas's miracle at the Sterling Oak restaurant will change how you view every meaningless task you do from this moment forward. Most people treat their current situation as something to endure, a placeholder until their real life starts. They show up late, complain about the grind, and do the bare minimum because no one important is watching. But there is a dangerous trap in this mindset. The way you do small things today is the only training you get for the big things tomorrow. Thomas didn't fall into this trap. For 8 years, Thomas worked at the Sterling Oak, an upscale restaurant where business deals and celebrity sightings were the norm. To his colleagues, he was just a 32-year-old waiter who took things too seriously. They laughed when they saw him polishing his shoes until they shone, or straightening his name tag for the 100th time. They asked him, "Why do you try so hard? It's just a waiter job." Thomas's response was a masterclass in professional philosophy. You never know who's watching. He didn't see himself as just a waiter. He saw himself as a professional in training. He studied the menu like scripture, knowing every wine pairing and the story behind every dish. This excellence in obscurity is what creates readiness for the moment you finally become visible. If you treat your current job like it's beneath you, you are effectively telling the world you aren't ready for anything above it. The most painful part of Thomas's story isn't the work, it's the waiting. For nearly a decade, he carried a business degree and a portfolio of case studies that no one asked to see. He read business books on his breaks, while others scrolled through their phones. He practiced his speaking skills in the mirror, refining a voice that for years only ever recited daily specials. His roommate would see him exhausted after a double shift, still studying, and ask the question we all ask ourselves: why do you keep preparing? Nothing's happening. Thomas's answer was always the same: not yet, but when it does happen, I'll be ready. This is the not yet mindset. It is the belief that opportunity doesn't send a calendar invite. Luck, as Thomas's grandfather taught him, is not a random lightning strike. The luckiest people in the world are simply the ones who are ready when the rain of opportunity falls. Thomas kept his consulting portfolio updated on his phone, not because he had an interview scheduled, but because he refused to be caught unprepared if one happened. Most people wait for the opportunity to arrive before they start preparing, but by then, it is already too late. You must be ready before you need to be. This brings us to the core revelation of this story, a philosophy shared by Robert Chen, the billionaire CEO of Titan Consulting Group. When Robert sat down at Thomas's table, he wasn't looking for a waiter. He was looking for a rare type of person. He carried a dog-eared notebook he'd had for 30 years. Inside, he had written a truth that separates the successful from the stuck. Opportunity is like rain. Most people spend their lives carrying umbrellas. They want comfort, routine, and predictability. When something unexpected happens, even something positive, they use their umbrellas of habit to block it out because they are afraid of getting wet or changing their routine. They complain about their lives, yet they shield themselves from the very events that could change them. But the people who succeed, like Robert Chen and eventually Thomas, stand in the rain with empty buckets. They don't want to stay dry. They want to catch every single drop. They are ready to receive, even when the timing is unforgiving or inconvenient. Robert realized that Thomas was standing there at 9:00 p.m. on a Friday, exhausted, but with his bucket wide open. Thomas wasn't trying to rush the CEO so he could go home. He was treating the conversation like it was the most important meeting of his life. Because he knew what Robert knew: every moment is an interview for the next opportunity. The miracle happened because of a crisis, 3 waiters were sick, the kitchen was behind, and the restaurant was at a breaking point. This is when the manager panicked and handed Thomas table 12, a VIP table for Robert Chen. Thomas's heart skipped. He knew Chen was a legend known for spotting talent in unexpected places. For a split second, Thomas felt the fear we all feel. What if I'm not good enough? But his 8 years of armor took over. He didn't approach the table with nervousness. He approached with genuine warmth. When Chen asked about the salmon, Thomas didn't just recite the menu. He explained the origin, the method, and the wine notes, proving he knew his work no matter what that work was. The turning point came when Chen asked, "What do you do when you're not serving wine?" Most people would have apologized for being just a waiter. Thomas didn't fumble. He stated his qualifications, mentioned his advanced courses, and most importantly told the CEO about the active portfolio sitting right there in his pocket. He was ready to show, not just tell. Robert Chen saw that while everyone else was waiting for life to start, Thomas was already living the life of a consultant. He just didn't have the title yet. Robert Chen slid a business card across the table and told Thomas Monday at 9:00 a.m., "Bring your portfolio." That night, Thomas didn't go out to celebrate. He walked home in a daze and sat at his kitchen table until 2:00 a.m. While his roommate slept, Thomas spread out his case studies and practiced his presentation over and over. He researched Titan Consulting's recent projects and pressed his best suit. He prepared like his life depended on it because it did. On Monday morning, he wasn't just early, he was invested. The knowledge his colleagues thought was wasted on a waiter was actually his greatest asset. He answered difficult questions with the confidence of someone who had been accumulating answers for 8 years. The result: when can you start working? Within 3 weeks, the waiter's uniform was gone, replaced by a business suit and a consultant title. Within a year, he was a senior consultant. 2 years later, he was the one on stage teaching others about operational excellence. His luck was nothing more than the inevitable result of a prepared mind meeting an unannounced moment. So, what does this mean for you? You might be in your waiter phase right now, feeling like your big break will never come. But you must understand that your big break won't look like a phone call from a recruiter or a clear sign from the universe. It will likely look like a tired businessman on a Friday night, something ordinary that most people will ignore. To catch your reign, you need to do 3 things starting today. First, choose one skill that matters for your dream and spend 30 minutes on it, even if it feels pointless right now. Second, prepare your portfolio. Update your resume and organize your work so that when someone says, "Show me," you don't have to say, "Give me a week." Third, treat every person you meet, every random conversation, like it could be the moment. The world doesn't reward those who wait for a sign. It rewards those who are ready before they need to be. Your current job isn't a dead end. It's a training ground. The only question is, when the rain starts falling, will you be holding an umbrella or will you have your bucket ready? Thomas spent 8 years preparing for a 2-hour interview that changed his life forever. He proved that luck is just readiness meeting opportunity. He stopped carrying an umbrella and started building a bucket, turning a Friday night shift into a senior consultant career. Don't wait for the rain to start. Go into the comments and tell me what is the one skill you are going to master today so you're ready when your moment arrives. Stand in the rain